Hey, this is Coach Marty,
And this is Lori.
and it's time for That Sports Couple.
What?
Brought to you by
Diamond Distributing.
Colonial Exterminating Company,
Edward Jones, C. Robert Email.
Wendy Benedetto, Ladder and Blue,
Sports Pub, Dusterhead.
Adam Roussel, Riverbend, Chiropractic, Tri-Parish Trophies,
The Seafood Pod. Welcome to That Sports Couple, episode 12. We hit even dozen. There you go.
12 episodes. Who thought?
I'm Lori Lyons, the sports writer. Call me Left Eye this week. This is Marty Luquette, the coach, and we are That Sports Couple, bringing you up to date as much as we can on River Parish's sports and other stuff that we like to talk about. And there's a joke at the end. Make sure you stay put. It always makes Marty laugh. And this week we have a special guest, West St. John coach Derron Thomas, who I covered when he was in high school. He was a running back at East St. John. Now he's back home at West St. John, where he's originally from, coaching. And last week got his first playoff win for the Rams, and he was very excited. And this week they get to go all the way up Shreveport to Mangham.
Well, they're playing well, and it's good to see West St. John back,
Yeah.
As a viable program. And, they got a young team, so they're going to build on this year. And, he's excited, and you'll be able to tell that by listening to him.
I'm excited for him. All right, so there you go. We're going to talk about what happened in last week's games. We had 7 teams make the playoffs. Only a couple of them played, though. 4 teams.
It doesn't matter. We had 7 teams make the playoffs in week 10.
Yes.
After week 10, after week 11, we have 7
teams in the
still
playoffs.
in the playoffs.
There you go.
If I think we were in 7 to the dome, it'd be tough.
Oh, no, we can't do that. We can send 3. How many divisions? I'll figure. That's math. I have to figure that out. Talk about last week's games, because I can't read.
Lefty.
I'm left-eyed Lolo today. This one works. This one does not.
Well, we can start out with the 5A games. Destrehan played Ouachita Parish, came down here, and Destrehan took care of business, 30-12. Once again, I told you I thought Destrehan was going to be my wild horse because their ranking was so low, all the way down to 10. But a lot of that had to do with them being with a lot of injuries during the season. And anytime you lose your quarterback for any serious part of the season,
correct.
And then that was some tough games they had that they ended up losing, playing with a freshman. So they're back and playing well, and they're winning 30-12, and so that they'll come back this week, and they're going to travel, but they're going to go up to Northwood, Shreveport. So West St. John and Destrehan will be there.
They can follow each other. I actually got to talk to the Northwood coach after his game last week. And I said, you get to come to my neck of the woods. He said, no, I think they're coming to us. And I said, oh, well, okay, there you go. So I'm doing some reporting for one of the websites up there. And that's one of the teams I get to call every once in a while. So that should be a good one.
Our next game was Hahnville. Putting up some big numbers, playing against a district rival or district team, not a rival, but winning their game 49-39. 39 points. HL Bourgeois was their opponent, and HL played very, very well.
Yes, they did.
And,
put up a fight.
They were going back and forth, switching leads, all that, and then the second half, Hahnville put up a couple scores early and then stretched it late, and were able to pull that one out by 10 points. But first playoff win for Coach
Greg Bowen in his first playoff game. There you go. Beginner's luck.
And because of where he felt, he's going to play Chalmette, the number 20, the 24 seed.
We will talk about
24 played 9. 9 was terrible.
Terrible. My goodness, they came back and had the game tied and let it get away in the end. We watched it. That was a tough one. I didn't like that one.
No, and
Terrebonne
did not play well.
No.
and that guy
Especially
coaching
down the end. They get an interception with a minute to go, and you think, "Oh, we're gonna run out the clock." You can't run out the clock in a minute.
couldn't get a first down. Gave the ball back, and Chalmette went right down the field.
And can we learn how to squib kick?
Special teams was a killer for Terrebonne.
No, yeah. Chalmette kid returned. Okay, here you go. It's my scouting report. Chalmette has a kick returner who returned the ball all the way back to inside the 10, like every time he got the ball. Don't kick to him if you want to win. Okay, there you go.
I'm sure that Honville's seen that on the film.
Well, I hope somebody does.
Or at least they got a guy who can kick it in the end zone and they don't have to worry about it.
Oh, that too.
But so Chalmette will be traveling to Honville this week.
Have fun
for their game, and Honville has a chance to make it, in the Turkey Week.
There you go, Turkey Week.
Turkey Week's big, as a high school.
Thanksgiving is late this year.
No, it's still
Is it still
third week of season?
All right, that's okay.
And
Nah.
the key to the biggest thing when you're a high school football team and coach and staff and all is you it's not a successful year really unless you're playing on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And that means you made it to the final 8. Think about it as, okay, we're in the top 10. Well, you're in the final 8 here.
There you go.
And that's kind of the criteria. Now, obviously the goal is to win, play week 15 and win state championship, but a successful season gets you in the third week of the playoffs.
Right. There you go.
Our next is the Letcher.
Letcher rested, and everybody in St. James Parish went hunting and fishing last week. Because Letcher was off, St. James was off, and Riverside was off, so everybody could just go hunting and fishing, take the night off. So everybody's well rested for this week.
Well, Letcher's going to catch number 18, Cecilia, who was one of the teams that
Dwayne Jenkins.
Yeah, Dwayne Jenkins called out when he was on our podcast. He talked about them being well coached and a good team. We also saw them play St. Aug early in the year during the storm. The week it was kind of a catch up, and Cecilia and St. Aug played close. So Cecilia is very capable, but Letcher is so good.
I know they really are, and there's some big history too. And Cecilia used to be a big rival for Letcher and St. James. The coach at Cecilia was James Wagasback, who used to coach at St. James and left to go to Cecilia and took them to the Dome a bunch of times, I do believe, or deep in the playoffs at least. And I remember Cecilia's name coming up a bunch of times back in the day.
And so there's tradition there, and we'll see how that pans out. But they'll be coming to Letcher to play. The next game is St. James had a bye. Rest, the number 1 seeded in their classification, and they're going to play Donaldsonville. Can it get closer? Like Donaldsonville can go up the street to play their playoff game. Here's West St. John and Destrehan. Here's West St. John and Destrehan going all the way to Shreveport, and Donaldsonville is going to go up the street, take them about 15 minutes, and play St. James. They have played earlier in the year, and St. James beat them, 38-6. So I think that St. James is probably feeling pretty good about this win.
Yes, but you can't overlook.
No, you can't. And
anything can happen.
Donaldsonville is going to come because it is a rivalry game for them. They don't have a rival in their district, so St. James, you're it.
And they're right down the road.
The next game that is very intriguing is St. Charles Catholic. St. Charles is won their first playoff game, 33-18 over Northside. But the game,
and we thought that was Lena, but it's not.
No. The reason I like this game this week so much is that they're playing Madison Prep, and Madison Prep is fast. Madison Prep is good.
Really?
And they're the number 5 seed. And out of Baton Rouge, they played Woodlawn when Daniel was there, and the first year they were in existence. And we looked at these guys, and they were big and fast. They just didn't know where they were supposed to go. They were all over the place. And by the next year, they were playing in the Dome.
Right.
So, there's some tradition here. And Madison Prep in just, 6-7 years has become a power. So it's going to be a tough game certainly for St. Charles as they travel to Baton Rouge to play Madison Prep.
There you go.
Riverside. Riverside
had a week off.
Riverside had a week to rest and
Party.
and they get ready. They're going to play Hamilton Christian. Hamilton Christian was the 10th seed. I looked at Hamilton Christian's record. They were 8-1, but they never really played a lot of quality teams. They played a lot of small public school teams. So we really don't have much on them to know if they're the real deal, if their record is. But you still have to go out and win them, and they did that. And so Hamilton Christian will come to reserve to play Riverside, and I'm sure the crowd will be out. There'll be a big crowd.
Football weather.
The track will be full, and
fireworks on the baseball field.
The Diamond will have his fireworks.
Come on, Thomas.
Thomas will have his fireworks going, and 12th man will be cooking. You can count on that. So it'll be a great experience for them. And the last game, the game I left out, I kind of jumped over it, is West St. John, who beat Arcadia 40-6 with Coach Derron Thomas getting his first playoff.
The Rams are rolling right when they need to be rolling. So
and he's got to travel to
Mangham.
Up in Shreveport, but we're going to let him tell you he's excited about that. And the thing that stands out for me is just a few short years ago, they were struggling to field team. Their numbers were down. They came with Riverside and they had 20 kids.
Yeah. And
he said they've already doubled that in just 2 years. So he's got 40 on the roster this year, and they're playing well. And hey, it's a proud tradition in Edgard.
And we talked about it last week. They made the playoffs every year since 1986. And he even said they've been to 9 championships, won 4. That's impressive. You talk about state championships. When we were at Terrebonne a couple of weeks ago for the homecoming, we were in the gym and I looked at the banners. And Terrebonne, I love my alma mater. Terrebonne's a 5A school, opened in 1908. Terrebonne has 4 banners in its gym. It has 1 state championship in track, and I do believe my father was on the team. 1 state championship in track. It's not easy to win a state championship in anything.
And it just goes to show you how last week we gave the numbers for how many state championships, just football.
Yeah, that was just
for the river parishes. And you see that what a proud tradition. And hey, it's always been, we always expect to have somebody in the dome. 2 is not unusual. 3 is great. We've been there where we've had 4, and 4 this year is not out of the question.
Yeah, absolutely. We could do it.
4 this year is not out of the question. So, get ready.
Pack your bags for the dome.
Plan on spending all day Thursday because if Riverside or West St. John make the championship games 10 o'clock in the morning on Thursday.
I think that is. One of them is.
No, that's it.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. in the morning on Thursday. I don't know. That's
no tailgating. Breakfast
game. Oh, they'll tailgate. They'll be there at 5.
Well, that was fun a couple of years ago when we went. Last year.
So the dome is is a lot of fun, but the way they're doing it this year,
because the Saints play on Sunday, we have to be out of the dome earlier so they can get the dome ready for the Saints on Sunday. So the Saturday games are noon and 3:30, I think. Well, which is good as a sports writer, because you don't know how many times that 7 o'clock game started at 9:30.
Ain't no papers no more.
Well,
Nobody has a deadline.
Nobody has deadlines anymore.
Nobody has a deadline. They don't exist.
We've shut that dome down so many times.
Yes.
Ooh, midnight games, 11 o'clock games.
Well, that's our football recap.
There you go.
And when we come back from this brief break and go see our sponsors, Lori's going to handicap volleyball, the end of volleyball, and
because we missed the game,
and some swimming.
There we go. Come back. Brought to you by Diamond Distributing, They're the guys who deliver the Hugh Biggs pies.
Lemon!
No apple. If you don't see your favorite pie and freeze-dried goodies at your store, have them call Diamond Distributing.
Brought to you by Colonial Exterminating Company, a local family-owned company that will help you get rid of your termites, pests, and rodents. They're a Christ-based company looking forward to serving you.
Brought to you by Robert Hemel at Edward Jones Investing on Belterre Boulevard in Laplace. Trust Robert with all your investment needs.
Brought to you by Riverbend Chiropractic. Come see Dr. Adam Roussel for pain relief. His decompression table will change your life. Call Riverbend Chiropractic in Destrehan.
All right. Welcome back to That Sports Couple, episode 12. We talked about football, and now we're going to talk a little bit about volleyball because we got the Riverside game in last week because they played at a different time, played earlier. But Honville was playing while we recorded, and it's too difficult to go back and edit it. So we'll just do it this week. Honville won the first two games before North Shore came back and won the next three. It was an epic match. My nephew was there because, as I said, my grandniece Ava was on the team, but she was injured this year, couldn't play. And everybody talked about what a fantastic game it was. And North Shore did advance to the championship game and played Slidell, North Shore and Slidell. I mean, come on, that's like Hornville, Destrehan playing each other. And Slidell did win. And if you know that story, Danny Tullis is the coach at Slidell. And I believe it was 2 years ago, his son was killed in a car accident on the way home from the championship game, on his way from Lafayette to Slidell. So, and he was just a really nice guy that I covered many times. So a lot of us in volleyball world, even me, ex-volleyball, we're very pleased for Danny Tullis. That was a cool story there.
And you have to feel real bad for Honville.
Oh, I know, to get there for the first time in 9 years.
Take a 2-0 lead and then have it get away from you. It had to be devastating.
Oh, I know.
Those girls had to be just.
And my nephew said they had a really good outside hitter, and they were a really strong team, and they really fought hard. And Honville Lady Tigers, you should be very proud of yourselves for what you accomplished. And I know that was their goal to get there, and they achieved the goal to get there. And look, nobody can take that away from you.
We're talking, just give you an idea, where volleyball is. We had two teams make it to the final eight. To the final eight. Compared to, we're talking about 4 football teams making it to the final 2.
There you go.
And this tells you that River Parish's volleyball has a way to go, but it's getting there.
One of the volleyball coaches, Joanne Skirtich, who was the volleyball coach at Newman for many, many years, won more championships than we have stuff on the walls here. She said that people always considered the River Parishes as the softball stronghold. River Parishes wins softball, and City wins volleyball. And that has held up.
Yes, it has.
That has held up rather well.
Yes, it does.
I think that's an apt description.
Mm-hmm.
We also had today was swimming. Swimming championships began today, and I'm going to mention it because, dadgummit, the Riverside Academy Lady Rebels 200-meter relay freestyle team won state. Hot diggity dog, go Lady Rebels! And it was
without a senior.
Without a senior, it was a bunch of young ladies, a couple of 8th and 9th graders, I believe, if I remember correctly. But come on, I don't know that there's been a swimming. I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't memorize all the banners on the Riverside gym wall.
No, we didn't have one swimming.
Didn't have one swimming, so this is the first one. And the girls finished. Where is it? Where do I have it? 4th out of 24 teams. Yeah. Yes, the girls finished 4th out of 24, and the boys finished 10th out of 21. That's awesome.
Well, that program has just been taken off, and
you like her.
Yeah.
Coach Dewey.
Yeah, Christine Dewey has just done a fabulous job. If you can get that many kids to get up at 5, come to swimming, you're in the pool at 5:30 in the morning, You are a master motivator.
And then go to school.
Then go to school. And then go to football. Some of them, you know,
Or volleyball.
or volleyball, and it's a credit to her, and Riverside has something to really be proud of.
Yes, indeed. So I'm very proud of them. St. Charles Catholic's finals began a little while. It's like the Hornville volleyball game. They started a little while ago, so we will update you on how St. Charles Catholic did.
Lecture.
Do believe they'll swim tomorrow, I believe. I do believe that St. Charles Catholic has won a couple state championships and events in swimming. So go Comets and go everybody else.
Yep.
There you go.
So that's you're up to date
on sports.
On sports in the river parishes.
Soccer has begun. Basketball started. I think so. I know they're practicing. So it's a busy time of year in the river parishes for sports, and especially on those little small schools like Riverside and St. Charles, where they just go from one to the next.
When I was athletic director at Riverside, the month of January, okay, the 20 days, weekdays in that month, I was at a game I was at a game collecting 18 of those days. 18 out of 20. I didn't buy in from 7 in the morning until 9:30 at night. That wasn't my plan when I took that job,
but you did it.
Just goes to show you that there's a lot going on. And
I like soccer. I've covered soccer, and I don't dislike soccer. It just seems like every time they would say, "Hey, Lori, we need you to go cover a soccer game," that Mother Nature said, "Ooh, this is the perfect day to drop the temperature 40 degrees." So there you go.
Rain.
Or rain.
Rain's always good for soccer.
Soccer in the snow. There was a game I covered out by City Park on those fields on Marconi Meadows, whatever it is. We all sat in our cars because it was freezing. And I just said, I'll just wait till it's over. There's some sports you just wait till it's over and then you go ask the coach, okay, could you tell me like who scored and how? And swimming. Like swimming is not a spectator sport. It really isn't, because you really can barely see who's in the swimming pool. And when I covered swimming one year, I basically said, come find me after you swim and we'll talk about how you did.
She has a nephew who's across country. She wanted to go to the meet.
No, next year he didn't qualify this year. Isaac, next year.
You watch him leave and come back. What is that? That's not.
Yeah. Well, I also know people in Natchitoches. I say, okay, y'all all go cheer for my grandnephew Isaac. We'll have a cheering section there, even if it's not me. But once I can see, maybe I can go. Cross country and Isaac. That's Isaac. So I got a volleyballer in Slidell. I got Isaac that runs cross country, and Carson's going to be playing baseball. And there you go.
Yep.
Family.
Busy.
There you go. All right. When we come back, we're going to let you hear from Derron Thomas at West St. John, talk about his big win last week, first playoff win, and his game this week against Mangham.
He talks about when he was in college, and he gives quite a list of former teammates while he played at the University of Miami. So
there you go.
We are looking forward to hearing from him, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Go visit our sponsors.
Brought to you by Wendy Benedetto at Ladder and Bloom. If you are buying or selling your home, call the best in the business. Let Wendy Benedetto get you home.
Brought to you by the Sports Pub in Destrehan. For fabulous food and big screen TVs, come to the Sports Pub for all the action. It's a must after your big game. Brought to you by the Seafood Pot in New Sarpy, the best seafood in the river parishes. Crabs, shrimp, seafood platters, po' boys, and those daiquiris. Doesn't get any better than the Seafood Pot. Brought to you by Tri-Parish Trophies in Reserve. When it's time to acknowledge someone's accomplishments, let Tri-Parish Trophies help. They're also your sign and printing professionals. Let them help you. They're a family-owned company. Here we go. Welcome back to That Sports Couple. I'm so excited. Today we have a special guest with us, West St. John Rams coach Derron Thomas. I covered you, didn't I?
Yes, ma'am. We go all
You
the way
were
back.
running back?
Yes, running back.
He's St. John.
He's St. John.
See, I still got it. Now he's the head coach at West St. John and headed to Mangham this week for the second round of the playoffs. Talk about that a little bit. Well, that's a long trip.
Yeah, it's a long trip, but it's the playoffs. Louisiana, depending on how the brackets draw, you're gonna have to travel once or twice, and this is our first travel. We're blessed to be here. We're blessed to be in the playoffs. So credit to the kids, to the coaches, to my administration. Just to everybody who's helped get us back to the days that everybody here in Agard are accustomed to, well, St. John Parish and Louisiana as a whole, really. So just being able to be back into it, get that win last week going in round two. It's just the second phase of our 5-step process, and we're gonna go and just have some fun and go play some good football tomorrow.
We talked about that when we were talking about the playoffs. There was a time where West St. John, you just put them in the Superdome. I mean, they were there probably 4 out of 6 or every other year, if not, more than that. It just was a great program, and it just continued. And I know you're trying to bring that back.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm from here. I'm a native of Edgar. My family, mom and dad from here. I started off here at West St. John, so my whole life growing up, it was Ram Nation. So we were traveling. My older brother graduated from here in West St. John. All my uncles, my parents, my cousins, everybody. So, I understand the tradition here at West St. John. I personally been in it. We lost in the semifinals my sophomore year. But my older brother, he won his senior year. They won the first state championship in '98. They actually beat Riverside. So
Yeah.
yeah, so my brother, he was a senior linebacker on that team. So just getting his back and getting that enthusiasm back in the community, getting that buzz going back here in that guard is good for the community. It's good for our fan base, for the school, for the students. More importantly, it's good for the kids. They're starting to buy in and really understand what we're trying to envision. They're doing all the things they need to do to ensure that we give ourselves the best chance to be successful this year, each week, and I credit them for that. And we just one step at a time. Like I said, we're in phase 2 of our 5-phase process to get to a state championship, and we got a lot of work to do. So, Mangham is a good ball club. They're physical. They have some good talent, but we're gonna come out and we're gonna give them our best shot because we have talent as well. We want to be physical as well, so it should be a good football game in Mangham.
Talk about some of your players. Like who's quarterback this year?
So we have 2 quarterbacks. We have Jace Farnell and we have Ashton Barnes. Both of those guys, that's a junior and a sophomore. Jace is an athlete. Jace can play a variety of positions: quarterback, cornerback, wide receiver, safety, strong safety, nickel. He's a jack of all trades. So those 2 guys have really done a great job competing and pushing one another and making each other better and giving us just 2 different options to where we trust both of them. We trust them all, and just those 2 really help steamroll what we want to do. And we have running back. We have Kalen Gardner. He's a freshman, and he's been doing a standing job. He has over 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns thus far. So that's a credit. He made first team all district this year as a 9th grader. He has a bright future ahead of him. He's talented. He's really talented, and he's smooth. He has good vision. He's good balance. He's a really, really good football player. We have Chance Bovay, Jakari Milton, Giovanni Bartholomew, those 3 there. All those guys there. There's also other ones. They're all playmakers. All of them have multiple touchdowns at certain parts of the game and season. We have a few different weapons and options that we're able to give the ball to, just to name a few of them. And Chance and Jakari and Giovanni, those 3, along with Kalen, with our quarterbacks, they fill out our skill position. Then we have Kiwan 5, Tim Coleman. Those are some juniors that we have a lot of underclassmen. We have a very heavy underclassmen team. So a lot of the guys they're really starting to grow up. This is their first playoff run. Last year in my first year, we actually made the playoffs. We lost in round 1, but
then you got your first playoff win last week.
Got my first playoff win last week. So shout out to my guys. Yes, so shout out to those boys and my coaches. We pulled through. It was good for everybody, and you want to go and get number 2 next week. I mean,
there you go.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. And I did a story for Go Preps a couple of weeks ago on all the River Parishes teams in the playoffs, and I did not realize this. West St. John has the longest playoff streak of making the playoffs every year since 1986. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, we it's a prideful program.
Yeah.
Championship is the standard. We've won 4 state championships. We've played at 9. So you
Yeah.
play
Oh,
9
wow.
state championships. That's some
That's
serious
a
business
lot for a little
there.
school.
Yeah, that's a lot. So, and we know that. We know the task at hand. We know the expectation of what our fan base looks for. We understand it. We're fully aware of it. I'm educating the kids on the legacy that they have to leave here at West St. John because, we want to be in that conversation as the top teams to come through here, the better athletes to come through here, and with the guys that we have thus far, we really have something we build in here. Even on the defensive side of the ball, Jardé Groves, the senior, he's outstanding. Him, Zakarin Howard, Chance Bove, he starts both ways. He's my free safety as well. These guys are some serious playmakers.
Right.
So to have all of those guys flying around, being engaged, being in tune to what we want to do offensively, defensively, and on special teams, that's a credit to the change in the record that we have compared to the previous few years and getting it back to where everyone wants it to be at. It's a good place to be when you see the progression that your players are having and the maturity that the team is having. So when you have those recipes, you're gonna always have success. So
Yeah.
I give a good credit to those boys for really buying in and what we're selling and understanding what it takes to be a champion. Because that's the goal at West St. John. It's championships. That's what we go for. It don't matter what happened last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. We can only control right now. And right now, as we play Mangham tomorrow at 7, and we feel confident about that game. We had a great week of practice, so we're gonna come out and really show everybody that we're for real.
There you go.
Well, Coach, tell us a little bit about your history. Where I know you said you played at East St. John, but who are your influences, and tell us about you.
Well, first, I went to East St. John 2 years, 11th and 12th grade. For my previous years, I was at West St. John. I said I'm from here, so I'm from Edgar. So I'm back home now. I'm back with my people, my family, my cousins, my rec teammates, my classmates. I'm coaching a lot of my classmates' kids or
Yeah.
my schoolmates' kids. So
The
now,
faces change, but the names stay the same, don't they?
yes, the last name stay the same. You have those Edgar names, but they still got the Howards and the Lumars and the
Yeah.
Cornells and the Thomases and just those different names
Yep.
that you have in that guard, man. So small community, prideful community, but we're a very, very, very community who's strong and we stick together, and that's what we're trying to keep our team and program. So just starting off with my dad. My dad coached me from rec football. He's a big inspiration to my belief system, the way I was raised, my both parents as a whole. My dad, he's a coach. He's a sports head. So I've been blessed to get groomed up like this from a child, from a small, young age. And, he had that vision for me. And he was always telling me once I finished playing ball and my career was over with, he was always telling me about getting into coaching. And he prayed and he saw vision about me coaching. And, at first I used to just think it was just talk. And then as the years went along and I just started getting that urge and I got into it, and I did what I was supposed to do. And when the job came open, I was blessed. God blessed me to get hired for this position and just trying to take it and run with it and turn the program back into a powerhouse dynasty. That's the
Yeah.
goal.
Did you play college ball?
Yes, I played at the University of Miami.
Ah, yeah, I knew that. Forgot, but I knew.
Just that little school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I played at the U from 2004 to 2008.
There you
So,
go.
Who was there with you?
Calais Campbell, Devin Hester, Sonoris Moss, Frank Gore, Antra Rowe, Kelly Jennings. We had a few guys. John Beeson, Tavares Gooden, Greg Olson.
Oh, wow.
The
Yeah,
list goes on,
the list goes on. So
especially when
I
you're
was
talking about the U.
yeah. So I was blessed to be at Miami for 5 years, and I played with a lot of guys who are successful and doing different things with their lives. It's a brotherhood at Miami. I keep in contact with a lot of my friends. We still have group messages, and we talk all the time. And I get a lot of my teammates who, just kind of reach out and proud of what we're doing here at West St. John, and they're looking from afar. And, it just feels good to have that brotherhood and know that, us growing into our adult worlds and we're looking back at the college years. But when you see your teammates, your brothers, doing things in a positive light and doing things that's, for the better of kids and providing for your family in that light is good. It's surreal to just get that validation and understanding that, because that's what your friend circle should be about,
Yeah.
people progressing and doing things with their lives and things that can make one another proud. So when you see one another, no matter the year or how long it's been, we all have different stories that we can kind of look back on, and then we can also kind of help each other out with current situations. And then, like my friends, we talk about, they help me with game plans. I ask questions about defenses, and we have those type of chalk talks and ideas and brainstorming and, program ideas and just different things that when you're blessed to play at a place like the University of Miami, the resources that
It was
we have,
resources. That's the word that was in my brain. Resources.
yeah, they're unlimited. They're unlimited. So
Yeah.
credit to being part of the family. And when you're part of the family, it's for life. So when
Right.
you see the U is always love.
There was a little time recently that West St. John's numbers dipped a little bit and things weren't going right. What was happening? Is it just a cycle, or what was happening?
I mean, yeah, we was before I got here, so
Mm-hmm.
they had some struggles with numbers and trying to get the kids committed. And I mean, when I came in, I just really attacked those hallways and built a relationship with those kids, with the students, with the girls and the boys. It's just making sports back cool again, making sports relevant again, making school cool again, making good grades cool again, just helping trying to change the culture. So with that culture, just building that relationship with the kids and getting the kids to come back out. And once you get them to come back out, now the next step is when you're at practice and you're at training, you're training hard. You're practicing hard and you're trying to get better versus just trying to be a part of a team. So first step is getting them there. And the second step is once they get there, how they should practice, how they should act, how they should conduct themselves, how the rules and the policies and the procedures are going to benefit them, so we don't run into a situation where you have a numbers issues, because kids love structure, whether they think they like it or not. So a kid, I tell kids all the time, y'all complain about it, but if we closed the doors and left just the students in the school, the first thing y'all gonna do is start calling parents and calling administrators for structure.
Yeah.
So, so that's part of the job, and just letting the kids understand that, we have a great group of kids here in Edgar, really the parish as a whole, because we have East Bank kids who attend our school as well. So,
Because West St. John is a really good school.
yeah, it's really
Academics wise, and it really, I mean, I've covered this school for 30 years. It's a really good school, really nice place to visit.
Definitely.
Good wings too.
Yeah, yes, good food. Just getting. We just had some gumbo today. We just had our Thursday practice. So some of my rocks who helped me keep the program afloat as far as from a logistical standpoint, they came through for us and they fed us gumbo and potato salad. So I'm full right now. So I said, let me stay in my office and get things before I fall asleep.
Gumbo weather.
I have long nights in here, so I just say, let me get my interview ready, but I'm full right now from that good.
Well,
Coach, that's a long ride, but I know it's still a good ride. The fact that you're still playing in week 12 is always good. You're looking for week 15, but it's small steps and it's a process. And what you're doing is great. We're thrilled to have it. Be strong again. And
yes, West St. John's back where it should be. I also want to point out his sister is the girls basketball coach at East St. John, correct?
Correct. Station.
Stacia?
Yeah, she's been the head coach there. I think she's been coaching there for 14 years. She's
Yeah,
been a head coach for the past 8 years. So
yeah.
she's another one. Stacia has a lot of experience as far as with she's good at different things, fundraising ideas and interacting, and she does a good job.
Yeah.
That was instilled in our parents, so we're similar with our structure and policies and rules, and she does a great job. She runs a good program over there at East St. John, and she's a big help for me as well. So I appreciate her dearly. We talk every day. Her son, my nephew, he's one of my coaches. So
Oh, okay.
he's one of my ball boy. He loves it though, so he's excited and he can't wait for tomorrow as well. And he calls me. He's so ready for the games, and when he can't make the games, he's gonna call me and apologize when he got football practice and his own things going in his life. But he loves being here with me and with the boys. The team has taken a loving to him, and sometimes after the game, they looking for him. He's on the gate with the assistant coaches. He's on the trailer riding around. He picking up. He's doing his job, doing his coaching duties. So him to be for him to
I
be 7
remember
years
you
old,
had that little boy.
yeah, 7 years old, and love it the way he does is great. That he has that fire and passion. So
The
I love
legacy
having my family.
continues.
And you talked about the kids, and one of my things about coaching, people ask me all the time, have the kids changed? And I tell them no, they still want to be loved, they still want to be disciplined, and they want to know that you want to be successful, and that's you show them those things, and it takes off.
Definitely.
It sounds like that's your theory as well, and it's good to see it still happen.
We're rooting for you, Coach. Go Rams.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you. Will do. You guys be good over there as well. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come on to your podcast and speak. That is definitely appreciative from myself and from my West
Tell
End
all your
Athletic
friends,
Group.
even your Miami friends.
All of my Miami friends.
I want to bring up one more thing. One of the West St. John family passed away this week. Charlie Lumar. Charlie was a good friend of mine. He did some stuff with St. Charles Rec when I was working with recreation over here, but I know it's always tough to lose a guy like Charlie.
Yeah, man, tough, man. Prayers to the family as well, the Lumars. They have our biggest support here at West St. John, and we're a small community, so when we have one of our own transition, it hurts everyone. So prayers to the family, to everyone involved, and who's he's been an impact to. Prayers to you guys as well. So we're gonna go out and give our all for all of our recent fallen. So we're gonna just do what we have to do. And yeah, just sorry. Definitely was tough news.
Yeah.
When that passes over here, but yeah, definitely. But they have us. We have them in our prayers, definitely.
Yeah. Well, you take care of Lester now, okay?
I will.
Is Lester still on the sideline?
Mr. Smith is going to be at all of our. He's at all of our games. He got his VIP seat on the track. Him and his wife. So they're always going to be there. And Coach Smith, yeah, man, he's great as well, man.
All right, Coach. Well, safe travels. I hope you come back happy and warm. And I hope it's a successful business trip for the Rams tomorrow night.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you for having me.
Coach. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule for us.
Oh, man, no problem. Go Rams.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Well, that was our conversation with Derron Thomas at West St. John. Go Rams. It's a long trip. I hope you're nice and warm on the way home, because I think it's going to be chilly.
His first week they get to pull out the winter gear.
Oh, there you go.
And some of them are going all the way to Shreveport.
I think they have a bus trying to put a bus. I know Destran was trying to get a bus together. So
they did. They got a mini one.
Y'all have fun. Oh, really?
They got a 25 passenger put together.
Y'all have fun. All right, we'll be here. Want to thank you all for joining us. Those of you who have been with us. This is episode 12. We're doing our best, doing our darndest to be entertaining and informative.
Yes. Very, very.
Look. He's Ubering, and I've been writing, and this is basically the longest conversation that we have every week. So thank you for that.
I'm only Ubering because she kicked me out.
I did. I said, get off of my sofa. I watch Hallmark Christmas movies with one eye, and he Ubers, and
With one eye.
he does. So if you Uber and your driver's name is Marty, please tip generously. Christmas is coming.
I'm certainly enjoying my time. I was telling Lori today I picked up a family to take them to the airport. Yeah, you don't know. I pulled up, and the two little kids, and the little girl was maybe 5 years old. And I jumped out the car to open up the back, and she says, "Will you take us to the airport? We're going to Disneyland."
That's so cute.
Disney World. I'm like, sure, that's what I do, baby. I take people to the airport.
Do you remember when we went the first time with Laura, and Laura would ask everybody in the airport, "Are you going to Disney? Are you going to Disney?" She thought everybody at the airport was going to Disney. Kids are awesome, and I would love to go back. I want to go see Tiana's Bayou thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
But Disney is Ubering in the city of New Orleans. Baby. There's plenty of adventure. There's stories for you. They're coming.
All right. Well, that's this episode 12 of That Sports Couple. You're lying.
Oh, yeah. We love you.
And we love each other.
Come on back.
Hey, Marty.
Yep.
All right, let's try this again. Hey, Marty.
Yeah, Lori.
Which side of the turkey has the most feathers?
Don't know.
The outside.
Oh, Lord.
Bye.